Okay, so let's talk about Atlanta. Episode 5, Season 3 is here, and definitely very interesting. This season's been very much so a surreal painting, if you will. And I will make a theory about that as well, because I think we're about to get some pretty interesting choices in the next couple of episodes, as well as maybe a sort of like twist of sorts. More on that later. But this episode, I feel, was more of the simplest episode we've gotten all season, but still very much so enjoyed it. So pretty much we have Paperboy out here performing in Budapest, and he has a sort of meeting with a fan of sorts at the beginning who is actually a Make-A-Wish child who has cancer. And pretty much it's a little emotional for Paperboy, we see as well. And I mean, why wouldn't it be? This is somebody who very much so said that their wish is to meet Paperboy, and this is what they're doing. And then we see him go out and play the show. Earn is all over the place. And it looks like Paperboy wants to have sort of a heart-to-heart with him as well, considering the fact that he just met with this child also. So Paperboy's feelings are pretty much out there on his sleeve as well at this point. But Earn is very much so busy with all of the manager duties, as well as trying to figure out what's going on with Van. We pretty much find out that she has been missing for 6 days now, and he's been trying to contact her. So it's been 6 days since we saw Van last when they were at that billionaire's house, and now she's out there and nobody knows where. All of this is happening, and Darius is trying to sort of go around this blueprint that he found of the venue, and there's a map that he found, and he's just pretty much like, we go on an adventure and all of that. Nobody's really listening to him, but he does bust some pretty awesome dance moves when Paperboy goes out to perform. Ultimately, the show goes well and all of that, but then Paperboy's cell phone goes missing, and they're like, where the fuck is his cell phone, right? So they're looking everywhere, and they're like, could you imagine if the Make-A-Wish kid actually took the phone? And they don't stop imagining. They actually try and go check, which turns into a hilarious stint, because this kid is suffering through an attack right now, and Earn is here looking for the phone. And it's funny because the kid's like, I'll do anything for Paperboy. Let's see how I can help. And everybody's pretty much just like, damn, Earn really just is blaming this kid who was going through his attack and all of this as somebody who would steal a phone. Of course, the kid doesn't have the phone, and they're back to square one. And then they start to realize, wait, there was this one guy who was out there right before Paperboy performed, and he was kind of weird and all of this, and now he's gone. And pretty much it turns out that he is the stage manager's nephew, and so they try to get him back in here. Socks, who we saw from the previous episode when they were at the billionaire's house, is still with them, and he's trying to threaten a guy. And Socks is very much so just being a pygmy at this point. So they end up getting the guy over here. For some reason, he knows about Paperboy's girlfriend Rose back in high school, as well as Paperboy wanting a box-top Chevy. Paperboy's like, he wouldn't know any of this unless he heard my unreleased music that was on my phone. At a point, he does give out Paperboy's phone number, and Paperboy's had enough. He's going to have a one-to-one with this guy and tell him why exactly this phone is so important. So once Earn leaves the building, well, not the building, but the office they're interrogating this guy, he pretty much tells him that he hasn't been able to write in months. And the first time today, a melody came to him and he started singing it, and it's all recorded on his phone. So it's so important for him to have it. The guy has an open heart-to-heart with Paperboy as well, saying how he sort of felt all his life that nobody understood him until he heard Paperboy's mixtape. And that's what really opened him up and really started making him realize how much he truly appreciated life. He ends up singing a song to Paperboy and pretty much tells him, I ain't got your phone, I'm sorry. Paperboy ultimately doesn't get his phone back. Darius and Earn and Socks, all of them go back to the tour bus, headed back, and the phone is nowhere to be seen until the very last frame when we see that Socks actually had the phone this whole time. Why did he? We'll get to that in a bit. But then we see that Van does reply to Earn with a thumbs up. That's all she replies with, and that's it. So let's talk about that right now. So pretty much Van, I feel this season, as Childish Gambino, Donald Glover has said, is going to go on a sort of like path in order to find herself. Now, I really do hope the next episode deals more with Van, because I feel like she's being pushed to the side more. And even though we've heard she was going to be a main like protagonist in this season, we still haven't seen that. So hopefully the next episode does provide us with more clarity on exactly her character. I think her character has a lot of growth to go through, and I would really appreciate one episode just focused on her. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, why did Socks have the phone? I think Socks is sort of like trying to get like the trust of everybody around him, and sort of the way he believed to do this is if he created this false like scenario, whatever you want to call it, not really caring about Paperboy, but more about fitting in. That's all Socks cares about, is having this like clique that he would call like his like entourage or whatever. He doesn't really care about Ern or Paperboy or Darius. He cares more about what it brings for him to be around them and how it looks optics wise to other people that he's there with them. I think that's all Socks really cares about at this point. And for him to disregard Paperboy's phone and everything, and having so much sentiment to Paperboy just for the clout, is something that really indicates what type of person Socks is. And I think you see that a lot in today's society as well. A lot of people will do anything for clout, as the song goes, and I think that is one of the things we see as well in this episode with Socks and everything he does so far. So very much so, don't trust Socks. We'll see where this goes. We have about 6 more episodes before I think the season finale, so we're halfway there. But I'm very much so enjoying Atlanta this season. I think that everything that we're seeing is going to lead to some culmination. I think the dream aspect of it all, the surrealism as well that we see come in and out of episodes, as well as the social commentary in the 2 episodes we've gotten so far that haven't dealt with the main protagonist, has been great. And I'm excited to see how this season ultimately wraps up. As always, though, that is going to do it for me. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. We are on the road to 21,000 subscribers. Really appreciate everybody who watches my videos, comments, all of that good stuff. I am so appreciative for each and every one of you, honestly. I do want to do a giveaway at 25,000 subscribers, so as we get closer to that, I'll be talking more about that. But as always, that is going to do it for me. Let me know your thoughts on Atlanta on this episode. I really did think that this was such a great episode to really dive deeper into Paperboy. I do believe that the best episode for sure is going to be surrounding his character when he got lost in the woods. I thought that was such an amazing cathartic episode to have, but this one definitely opening him up more is great. But as I said, I want to see Van be explored more, so hopefully in the next episode we see that. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on that below. As always, that's going to do it for me. Check out the video on the left if you haven't already. Check out the social medias here, Twitter, TikTok down below as well. See all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.